into the space, chasing all of the gains, chasing the pumps and all of the hype trains. But like in life, you buy before you could. Was told to buy when it was boring, like a rainmaker should. I buy when it's down, don't chase the boats that I miss. Cause I always make the time in mind. I stick the one out cause I'm patient like that. And I'll wait for the right time. I sell when it's high, I buy when it's low. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm just a rainmaker running the show. Calculated investments, I don't lead with my heart. Principles are simple, they're leaving a mark. Buy when it's boring, just gotta be smart. I sell when it's hype, like all the channels they pump it. That's when I was selling, got parabolic, they dump it. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes it time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Time is never better, but time like the present. This next 5 years is a gift and it's feeling like heaven. I'm committed to learn, to study and to know that nothing comes easy, but with knowledge the game show. Seeking out this wrong, cause soon will come a bear market. Learning and growing, and when it's slow will be the target. They say it's come out.
I love the smell of fresh pullback in the morning. Smells like victory. Now this makes way more sense if you've seen a US movie called Apocalypse Now, but what do I mean by this? Well, we're in a bull market and these pullbacks are healthy and normal. In fact, they're good days for either buying more or just staying excited because these pullbacks are a healthy part of even a bull market. Now, my fear level with what's going on right now, I would say is about 2%. And my greed level, it's at like 98%. Now, another indicator that makes me really happy is what I'm hearing about Cardano. Now, what is it that we're hearing about Cardano? You've probably been hearing it too. I've heard many people say, ADA is my stablecoin. Truthfully, that's pretty funny. I like it, and I totally get what they're referring to. ADA is boring right now. And what do we start doing when a fundamentally good project is very boring? Well, that's what we're going to talk about. Welcome to the Crypto Rain channel. I'm your host, Jay Rain. And if you like money in crypto and are looking for a real investor's take on the crypto market, join the Rainmaker family by liking this video and subscribing with that all notifications button on. Today, we're going to look at Cardano and what is going on. We're going to talk about some Cardano articles and look through them together. And then we're going to look at Cardano's price, and I'm going to give you an updated price prediction. And we'll walk you through exactly how I make that price prediction. We're going to talk about 2 top altcoin picks outside of Cardano because I like things when they're boring. And I think Cardano's at a great pickup, but we will share 2 other altcoin picks. We're also going to cover some hot incoming crypto gaming projects, and then we'll have a questions and answer segment where you tell us what's on your mind. Now, we won't look into any meme coins, so don't suggest them. And if you want to get our attention during that section, you want us to review a project, tell us the ticker symbol and what you like about it. If you just throw a ticker symbol, we probably aren't going to look at it. Special note, and you know this, but I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a crypto investor myself, sharing with you how I think about crypto, the crypto market, and specific cryptos that I like. I do own or plan to own most of what I talk about on this channel because I don't talk about cryptos I don't believe in. Makes sense, right? Unless I specifically say that, and I share with you why I don't believe in it. Now, shout out to our new Patreons. Thanks for joining the Rainmaker family and the Patreon group. This does give you special access to our Discord as well. It is a closed Discord group. Charles S., Chris A., Stig M., and Abdul. Welcome to the team. Let's also welcome D-Money here in the Rainmaker Command Center studio.
Hey, what up, Jay? How's it going, man?
Hey, good to have you here.
Good to be here as always. I'm excited about today's episode. Cardano is, like, I have a special place in my heart for Cardano because, I think like a lot of people, it was one of the very first stable coins. I just about said it. One of the very first altcoins that I invested in. It was one of my first. I put $200 in, and it went to $350 in like a week or something like that, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm excited to hear your take on everything, and yeah. Let's get this the old party started, all right?
Let's do it. Now, what are your thoughts in the audience about Cardano? You can put your thoughts in the live chat there. If you're a holder, are you feeling frustrated it's not moving? Because that's what we want to talk about today. And if you're feeling that, that is completely normal. In fact, that's absolutely expected. Also, if you haven't already, take a minute to smash that like button. Now, if you're looking at the live chat, I think you have to cancel that out, hit like, and then reopen the chat. All right, Cardano fundamentals. What is going on with Cardano? Now, with the launch of smart contract capabilities, there arose a difficulty in that each project will have to solve called concurrency. Cardano has the ability to run multiple transactions simultaneously, and this is a great thing. It can also cause problems. Say you're a DEX on Cardano and you want to swap, you're on a DEX on Cardano and you swap 10,000 ADA for, say, 8x. And let's just say Cardano's at $2 and 8x at $1. At a certain price, and at that price, there's 20,000 8x listed up there for sale on a sell order. Well, what if 3 other people do the same thing at the same time too in the same block? See, these transactions are all trying to process concurrently. So there's great power of Cardano in allowing to mean that things can run simultaneously, but this does create some additional challenges to solve as well. And Cardano allows each project to solve this in their own way of how they want to solve it. And Cardano is still in what I call the earning phase. It went through some really solid growth, and we'll see that in the charts. And it made it all the way to number 3 on the market cap. And what people, when they're new, often think is that it just continues to run up and they don't know about these pullbacks. And when they run into them, it's scary at first. Why a lot of people in this don't have a long investment background. They didn't come here from Wall Street. They're just looking to make a lot better returns than they know they're going to get from their bank, especially because the governments are printing so much money around the world that what's sitting in their bank at point, we did a story on Monday about this bank saying that they're doing amazing returns way higher than everyone else, and it was like 0.5% per year. And so if you have your money sitting in your bank, it's losing ground for you. So everyone's looking for where they can not lose ground, and crypto is the best place to be for that. So they do see Cardano pump, they expect it will keep pumping, and they don't understand these pullbacks and how they happen. And it's a little bit scary, especially if you bought in during a pump. So we'll look at that and I'll share with you. In essence, I think of it like pulling back a rubber band when it's trading sideways and down, and that gives it more momentum that when you release, it takes off. Now we're going to look at some recent news about Cardano too. So let's look at what's going on. And at the 45-minute mark, D, if you'll give me a heads up, we'll make sure we get to the question and answer there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
All right, so if you take a look at my screen here. All right, this is a beautiful Bitcoin chart. And look at where we're going here. It broke out up. It's been going up. It broke previous highs, and then it came down, and it's retesting some support in this range. It might even come down further. That's as much time as I want to spend on Bitcoin today because I have so many other things I want to cover, and I want to give Cardano its due. If you look at this trend line, this was the low. This was a great day to be buying Cardano. Now, I had actually tried a leverage long here, and I got liquidated here. And so I was crying that day. Even though I was super happy that Cardano was at a really big price, I lost 1.3 Bitcoin that day. It hurt. Oh, 1.6. Yeah, so not a happy day for me. Because I knew the market was going to start this uptrend, and I didn't put a stop loss in. I just did a really low leverage long, but when you have a day like this, it'll wipe out your longs. And that was my last attempt at leverage trading. I don't recommend it. Even though I somewhat knew what I'm doing with that stuff, it just is a great way to lose money in a bull market, which can be frustrating. And if you notice, there's some big channels that stopped talking about it because they were losing so much money doing it that they don't talk about it like they did all the time. Because when you buy something, you actually own it. So Cardano went all the way down here, and look at this trend line that it's following, and we're still way up above that trend line. Earlier this year, it went parabolic with everything else, but look how little the pullback was. It was so minor, the pullback. So a lot of people started buying somewhere in this phase, and so now they saw it hit all the way above $3, and even if it doesn't reflect it here, it hit like $3.40. And so they're just looking at the sideways momentum and going down, and this is normal. Look how above this trend line it is. Now we can draw kind of like a fan like this, but But if we draw that, we see it did break below there, and it could come all the way back down to this. I don't expect it will. It's just trading. If we zoom in, we're going to draw a little bit different pattern here. In fact, I'm going to get rid of this one just so it's out of our way. And I didn't draw it at the top of this because it just wicked right up and then right back down in there. Generally, it's been following this. Now, everything went down the last 2 days, so I wouldn't be surprised even though it wicked down below if it stays in here. And so we might be close to its next break up going here because we're at the end of this pattern that it's been following. And you could draw it a little bit differently like this. And then we'd have a little bit more time, but it doesn't always wait till the end before it either breaks up or breaks down. And being in a bull market, the probability that it breaks up is a lot higher than the probability that it breaks down. And Cardano has been out of the news in general, but we do want to cover some news and share with you kind of our thoughts on this. And then we'll jump back to the charts and do an analysis on it. All right. So Cardano weekly inflows are high, but what's next for investors? So one of the news factors that's really interesting is the total flows by assets. And I wanted to point out where Cardano is here. Now, look how high that is recently. So this is investor money and assets under management. So this is big money giving it to firms that manage it under their assets under management. So they put 5.2 million in Polkadot. Now 9.8 in Solana. Solana's been a huge grower. But while Cardano's price has been down, look what they've been doing. So when people say, it's boring, and they're thinking about selling now, just realize that the sophisticated money, that's when they're buying. And I wanted to highlight this for you. So they know what's going on, which is buy when it's boring. That's why in our rap song that we play at the end of every video and at the beginning of the live streams and sometimes at other places, that's why I reinforce that principle about buying when it's boring, because that's what the wealthy do. Ethereum, it's almost equal to Ethereum, which is huge. Another article that I thought was interesting, thank you very much for showing us your ad, but we don't really want to subscribe. No. Okay. Now this was an interesting one. ADA Finance wins Best DeFi Project of the Year at AIBC. Now I have no idea what AIBC Summit is. Roger Ver joins as an investor. For those of you who haven't been around crypto for a long time, Roger Ver is kind of like a loved by some, hated by others person in the crypto space. A very interesting person. But Cardano and Avalanche-powered DeFi ecosystem ADA Finance has been announced as the winner of the highly anticipated Best DeFi Project of the Year award at the 2021 AIBC Summit in Malta. And so that's cool. They had this summit in Malta. The win took place November 16 in unison with the addition of early Bitcoin investor Roger Ver, who has joined the project as an investor. That is notable, though. He's been around the space in Bitcoin for forever. He's worth lots and lots of money. It is interesting that he backed them. I hadn't heard, I guess I'd heard of ADA Finance before. Do want to make a special note. When you're reading articles, one tip is, you're reading them, okay, that sounds really bullish. Just a little bit of context to this, though. ADA Finance is the source of this content. This press release is for informational purposes only. This information does not constitute investment advice or an offer to invest. So in other words, this is a paid article to amcrypto.com. Still newsworthy, but realize that they put this out because probably nobody else was writing about it. I do think that Cardano is just going through some growing phase, and then it's going to pump some more. So it's tempting to get disheartened and sell when things are low. I like to sell when things are high. So I've not been selling any of my Cardano at these lows. I take profits when it's doing well, not when it's doing poorly. Now, am I pouring more money into this? No. I consider it a large cap altcoin, and I have so much of my portfolio allocated for that, and it's done very well for me. So in my situation, because I stocked up so much on it over the past while, I'm not adding to it. If I were just coming into this space, I would be, though. I would be as an investor myself. Not financial advice to you, because you've got to make your own decisions. All right. Why is Cardano the next Bitcoin? And D, you read this article as well, right? The Motley Fool.
Yeah, I did. And what I mean, what I found was interesting about it is simply that it's coming from the Motley Fool, and the Motley Fool is, it's not something that we read a lot in crypto. It's a huge stock site, right? They have their stock picks and that sort of a thing. But I thought it was interesting and worth bringing up, because if a publication like the Motley Fool is saying, hey, here's why Cardano's the next Bitcoin, then that's where a lot of new money is going to come, right? From people who, they don't know a lot about, they're into stocks, they don't know a lot about crypto. And then here, we'll see in the article that, we all kind of know what the talking points are, but it is being pushed to investors who are outside of the kind of the standard crypto space.
Yeah, it's very simple. If you're new to crypto, this article is helpful. If you've been in it for a while, you'll find that it's pretty simple and basic, but there needs to be that kind of stuff for people who are new. Because remember, if you aren't new, at one point you were, and you needed kind of those watered down, easier to read articles. And the Motley Fool, especially this author right here, seems really big on Cardano and its ecosystem, which this is a lot of people that are in stocks that are just kind of dipping their toes in the water with crypto. It's great that they're hearing about Cardano in such an easy, friendly way. All right, let's talk about Cardano price predictions, because I know a lot of you are waiting for that. And I did some previous videos on why I thought Cardano could hit $30 by the end of this bull market, and it still could. Whether it will or not, it didn't hit my price predictions of what I was hoping for. Now, I wanted to make sure I included the left side of my screen in this video, because there is a tool I use here called a Fibonacci retracement. And this gives us a good idea of where things could go to. So it took this first run up to right here, and it's funny how it respects these fib levels pretty well. And so if you look, say you're right here and there's this big run here, this gives you an idea of where it will retrace to, and it nailed it. It retraced first to this level, and then when it broke down, it retraced to the next level. And see how interesting that is, because it came down to the 61.8, and these are really, really good buying levels. So what I do is I front run them a little bit. I usually buy in a little bit here and a little bit here. And then what happened? Well, it retraced up to this, broke through, came back down, played around at that level, and then it ran up some more. But look how long this traded sideways. What is it feeling like right now? Long trading sideways period. But then it had a parabolic blast off. And so this period, actually, if I do this, see this period here? Looks a lot like this period here, doesn't it? Interesting, huh? And then what happened? A big blast off. Now, I was hoping that on this last blast off that it would go higher than it did, and it has me a little bit concerned for my upward price prediction. Now, let's look at, it went as high as right here. Let's see where that takes us. That takes us at the higher market, under $15 at $13. Now, what I was thinking would happen on this last run was that possibly it would break up as high. Where was it? To here. When we went all the way up to this point, I was hoping on the next run it would go as high as $6. And at $6, then if it had gone up to $6, if it had then run again, that would take us, if it went to the higher point when things go parabolic, that would take us to about $31, which is a $1 trillion market cap for Cardano. A lot of people have trouble seeing that right now because they're seeing Bitcoin's market cap being at like 1.8 trillion, ETH's market cap being below that, and they're like, are you saying Cardano's going to flip ETH? And it's like, why would you think ETH's market cap is going to stay the same while Cardano's goes crazy in the bull run that's coming. So no, I'm not saying it's going to flip ETH, but why are you thinking that ETH's market cap is going to stay the same? Because ETH will definitely hit above $1 trillion market cap itself. And so do I think Cardano's now going to hit $30? Nah, it didn't break that point. So let's draw some numbers here. I don't know that we have enough time left in the market for it to hit $30. It still could. We're going to see a huge move that's going to be unprecedented in the past 3 years, but not unprecedented in the last 4 years, because Cardano did some massive gains, as well as did every other project in 2017's bull run. So where do I think it could hit? Well, as high as just under $15. So half of where it is. And that would put it in a market cap of around $480 billion, which is a significant market cap. Now, could it still hit $30 billion? It could. That's the top of what I'm thinking. Now, because I already have a lot allocated in this blue chip side of my portfolio, which I include Solana, Polkadot, and Cardano, what I've been doing when they hit highs is I've been pulling from those and putting it in the less, or in the more risky category, especially if things are on discount. And I'll tell you 2 picks that I think have 100x potential from here. This won't be the first time you've heard of these from me, but I really like the prices that are at and what's coming, so we'll talk about those. I also want to take a second to thank our sponsors, OneChain. They have the best trustless bridge technology that help the top chains be interoperable. Now, we gave 125 OneChain away to a viewer on the live stream Monday, and we'll continue giving away 125 One 4 times per month. So stay tuned next week for another giveaway. You can have your MetaMask wallet interact with OneChain just like you do with the Binance Smart Chain or Matic. So if you have a MetaMask wallet, you essentially have a OneChain wallet, and you just need to YouTube search how to connect OneChain up to that, or Google search it, and it will give you the instructions on how to do that. So let's talk about one of these small cap or smaller cap altcoins. It's not a tiny cap that's on my mind, and this is Solana. So this is one of my top picks that could 100x from here. Now, I first looked at Solana right here, and what I like about Solana is Sam Bankman-Fried's Alameda Capital is a big investor in it. Coinbase Ventures is a big investor in it, and Solana's ecosystem is going to boom. And so this is kind of a DeFi project, which DeFi projects have not really been in the narrative for a while. It's been since March and April when they were huge, and since then they haven't got much focus, but the market tends to shift focus when it comes back to DeFi and DeFi on Solana, because Solana is so much faster than a lot of the competitors, that I think this one will really boom. They're a brand new project. They already have half as much assets under management as the leader, Radium, and so they're going the right direction very quickly. They do have a token associated with it, and this token came out just barely, and we first heard about it here, covered it for my private Patreon group. It then ran all the way up to $15. I didn't take any profits on it because I expect much higher things. It's since retraced some, and so you think, who could be selling this? Well, there were some initial offering people when it launched that were able to get it at $6, and that's what the IDO price was. And so there's a lot of buyers that bought it at $6 that are just taking profits. But my guess is everyone who's picking it up on this thing have a lot higher expectations for it, just like I do. Now you can see it a little bit of the history here, Solana versus USD on FTX's exchange, because it is listed already on FTX's exchange, because Alameda Capital, or Sam Bankman-Fried, is one of the backers on it, and he owns FTX's exchange, so of course he put it on it. But Coinbase is also one of those, and is it listed on Coinbase yet? Not yet. Now, question, do you want to buy it before it's on Coinbase or after it's on Coinbase? I like to buy before, in fact, before the rumors of it being on Coinbase are even out. And so I just picked up a bunch more the other day, right about this level. It's actually a little bit cheaper than when I bought some. Did come down even cheaper. That's okay. I don't always hit the absolute bottom. I don't know where the absolute bottom is, but I like to buy when it's cheap and on sale. And if it comes down some more, I'll just put more in. But essentially, I doubled my position in it yesterday because I had bought a bunch more. I bought my first amount here. And when it came down lower, I don't cry. I'm grateful for it because I believe it can do really well from here, and I'll share with you what I think it can do in a second. So I double my position. If it comes down even more, I'll buy more. All right, so where is this going to go? It's current market cap. If you multiply this times this, even though it doesn't do the, oh, it does do the math for us. Great. It's about $54 million, $55 million. So the question is, can it 10x from here by the end of this bull run? And by the end of this bull run, I think altcoins will continue to run up until first quarter, maybe early second quarter next year. So can it do 5 billion from here? Well, let's look at, say, Uniswap. Boy, their market cap's at 9.8 billion. And we're not even at the end of the bull market yet. So it's probably not going to stay here. It's going to go up a lot more from here. So can Solana, if they take the predominant DeFi token on, well, you ever have one of those moments? Another project I want to look up is Aubit that they compare directly to as well, more directly to, and their market cap is 3.7 billion. So can Solana hit in that realm? Yes, and if it goes to about 6 billion or 5.5 billion, then it will have 100x from here. So if Aave did it, and Aave was much higher than this earlier, so it's hit those kind of numbers before, and it's just retraced a bunch. So can Solana do that? Possibly. That's what I look at. It's been done before. In fact, Aave is one of the investors behind Solana, so I'm pretty bullish on it. And will it hit 100x from here? No, I don't know. Yes, probably is my guess. And so I will be selling on the way up in case it doesn't quite reach there, but I really like today's price. Okay, the next one I'm really bullish on. It has to do a lot with fundamental analysis over chart analysis. The charts don't tell us tons, and that's Freeway token. And you've heard me talk about them before. They have a platform called Aubit. And I've got links below for those who are in the US and those who aren't in the US. There's separate sites for each of them because the regulations are different. And so why am I so bullish on Freeway token? Now, one of the projects I made a lot of money on during the crypto winter was Celsius. However, I could have made way more money on it. And the reason is I first saw it when it was at 3 cents. And I thought, wow, that is a breakthrough idea. What they're going to allow is once they have their platform live, you'll be able to stake Celsius on there. And if you have a lot of Celsius, it increases your returns on Bitcoin and other things that you can have. Instead of getting, say, a 6% return on Bitcoin, you could get an 8% return on Bitcoin. And that's amazing. You can also get returns on the Celsius token that you're earning. I was like, wow, that's really cool that they're doing that. I think that's going to be wildly successful. And then what happened? Well, they took off, and they took off up to here. It actually doesn't show it here, but it went up to 65 cents. And I was like, oh, man, shoot, I just didn't get around to buying it. I knew that they had the right narrative and that things were good on it. So I waited for a nice retracement. I drew up my fib retracement levels. And when it started retracing from this high, I bought. And then when it came down some more, I bought some more. And then it went absolutely crazy, all the way up as high as $8. Now, I've taken all my profits out of Celsius, and I put them in other projects that have lower market caps. But look at where the market cap is now. It's at 1.7 billion. When it was at $8, and it's currently at about 421, so it was almost double here. So let's say that market cap was about 3.3 billion. Well, where is Freeway token's market cap now? 24 million. Yeah, so if it were to catch Celsius's market cap, that would be 100x from here. So that's why I think this is one of the ones with still some 100x potential. Now, I think their use case is even stronger. Let me explain to you how this works. On Aubit's platform, there's a few different types of returns that you can make. You can take Cardano and you can buy their Cardano supercharger product. And instead of giving you the normal Cardano staking rewards at 4.5% roughly is what Cardano staking returns are, they'll actually give you 20% returns on your Cardano. Now, it's not actually holding Cardano, it's pegged to Cardano. And so as Cardano goes up, your value mirrors just like what Cardano's value is doing, plus you're getting 20% extra in Cardano value. They also have some stablecoin superchargers that pay you 3% per month, roughly average. I've heard by many people that have been in this for a while that it's higher than 3%, so they over deliver and under promise. But when you compound 3% per month, it adds up to over 43% per year. Now that's better than any other platform out there is paying, but you have to be holding Freeway token in order to unlock it, in order to make it work. And so that drives demand for Freeway token. And as they get more money on their platform, and they just barely launched it live in the US, it wasn't functioning, the US platform, up until a week ago. So now you can register, now you can sign up, you can get platform access. You can then send your funds over and interact with them. They can help you. Their customer service is great. They can help you get started. Now, I'm not moving massive amounts into their stablecoin superchargers yet. This is absolutely one of my exit points, or one of my exit strategies, is to move some money over here because I want that juicy 43% returns per year. Now, there are some things with lower risk at lower returns that are still a lot higher than Celsius that might be equivalent or even a little bit safer risk than what Celsius has, that has lower returns around the range of 8 to 14%, which is cool. I'm going to go for that juicy 43% for part of my portfolio because that more than doubles what you have in there every 2 years.
Hey Jay, so how much Freeway token do you have to have in order to unlock this supercharger?
So let's say you have 100,000 in total value. So think of that in stablecoins. And so you fund your account with $100,000. So basically you've got to put 20,000 of that at least into Freeway token in order to unlock the supercharger on the remaining 80% of it. So essentially, you'll be holding 20% then in Freeway token on the platform. Now, you can buy Freeway token both on Uniswap and PancakeSwap, but you can't move those directly into the platform. There's some reasons why with regulations you can't. So what I plan to do is I'm holding a whole bunch of these on both Uniswap and PancakeSwap. I will sell those to US dollar, like USDT, and then I'll move that over to the platform, and then I'll buy it back, essentially, the Freeway token on their platform. Makes sense?
Yeah, definitely.
So the values are pegged, but basically 20%. And so it's not a bad idea to have a little bit more, like 22%, because the price of Freeway token could fluctuate. Now, what I guess happens is as a lot of people figure this out and they have friends that make these juicy returns, what do they then want? Oh my gosh, that's so incredible. I have all this money sitting in the bank. And so then more money comes in, but then everyone has to have Freeway token. So this is what drove Celsius's token to go up when most tokens were not in the bear market. And my guess is that Freeway token does good not only in the coming months, but possibly even in the coming years. Because if there's a lot of people that want those juicy returns on their stables, like me, guess what? They will have to be buying Freeway token, and that's going to make demand vastly higher than supply, and then the price will go crazy. And people don't really care what the price is because they think of, I don't care what I'm paying per Freeway token at that price. They're like, I need 20% of my portfolio in Freeway token. So if it goes to $100 per Freeway token for its use case, it doesn't even matter. They just have to have 20% of their value in that. So it can create a situation that the price can actually go ridiculous. That 100% or 100x from here might be a low estimate. And I use the word might because we'll see how demand goes. This has made perfect sense to me, and I think it'll make perfect sense to a lot of people.
Hey Jay, quick question again from Tyson Larson. Where did you buy Solend? I think he follows it up. Somebody said that you can do it on Radium, but he's asking, can U.S. users use Radium as well?
Yeah, you can use Radium. Radium is a DEX, and so you have to get a wallet. You can use whatever Solana wallet you want. A lot of people use the Phantom wallet. That's PH, Phantom with a PH. And so you download the app. You got to save off your private keys somewhere safe. Then you have a Phantom wallet. You then need to fund it with Solana. So Solana will be your gas for the Solana ecosystem, just like Ethereum is the gas for the Ethereum ecosystem. So fund it with Solana, and then you can swap directly from Solana into Solend. Let's take a look. Now, just while we have a second, I want to bring up a big one that we've been following and that we were buying when it was boring, and this is Drive. So they came out, shot way up, which is what a lot of projects do when they first come out. Then it comes down to this earning phase where it gets really attractive, and these where the great pickups are made, and it has been going parabolic. And even notice just this last leg right here. So they've had a lot of big news. So they dipped down with everything else, and then they've taken back off, and they're back up almost to 10 cents. So congratulations to the Drive team. They brought over a driver from, one of the former execs from Uber, and so that was a big deal. And they have their platform launch coming up soon in India, so they'll actually be going live in India. And so there's a lot of anticipation like that. It's been in the news a lot, and the charts have been looking good. So everyone who bought when it was cheap, look, it was under a penny. Now it's back up to, it's not showing it here till we zoom in, but it was all the way. Boy, those are showing different things. That's weird. Let me make sure it's reflecting. Oh, it's back down to 6 cents. No. So I was wrong on that. It did go to 10 cents, back down to 6 cents. If you bought it here, you're still not crying though, because this is where a lot of it's made some good pickups, and this is why we buy when it's boring. Real quick, because we have a second time on SolBank, I've had a lot of people ask me about this because they're like, why are you so bullish on it, Jay? Their Telegram support, like the admins, don't get back to everyone. There's a lot of FUD in there. Okay, SolBank, I love the privacy nature of it. So they make it, so they're going to be a wallet on Solana where you can have whatever transaction you want be completely private, that people can't tell who sent what to who. And there's some value in that. They're also going to bridge over from, it's the major privacy coin that a lot of people use and that governments absolutely hate. And it's been around for a long time. Monero. So they're going to build a bridge from Monero so that people can bring over liquidity and capital from Monero. And so realize that a project that makes this kind of thing, there's a certain level of anonymity they have to have, because there's a reason why Satoshi do you realize that Satoshi was anonymous and that Bitcoin was a totally anonymous project? So just because it's anonymous, you then ask yourself, does it make sense for what they're doing? And why would somebody be making an anonymous NFT project unless they're going to rug pull you? But an anonymous privacy wallet makes perfect sense. And so the things they're complaining about, they don't realize when they did their raise on this, they only raised $2 million on it, which is not a lot of funds. And so pretty tight budget. My guess is the Telegram admins are working for free, or maybe just a little bit of tokens or something, and they're providing some support there. And so they're expecting to be getting responses from maybe like they do on a project that raised $30 million. But this is a low cap gem. Their altcoin, or their total market cap is extremely low. They only have 60 million fully diluted 60 million total tokens that could ever be in circulation. And so their market cap is really, really low. And so this is a risk. Do I know that's going to pan out? No. Do I think it's going to do very well? Absolutely. I still support it 100%. Realize it's a higher risk category, but you have to be in a higher risk category to have the potential to have 100x or 200x returns. And so I still love this one. I have a lot of it. I guarantee I have even a lot more than you do. And even I've taken a little bit of profits when it was up. And I did sell a little bit here, though it hurt me to do it because I was rolling some into Solend. And I saw the breakdown here. If you were in the Patreon group, I told you that I was making this trade and I hated to sell it at this price, but there was some charting evidence that it was breaking lower and going to break lower. So I took a little bit more profits here, and so that I could roll it into Solend.
J. Jordy Mendez. I like Solbank. You think the price is good to buy at the moment?
So it's trading right now around, I think sometimes when I play this little game on Nomics, it gives me a little bit better charts. Yeah, I like to have as much data as possible. So right now it's trading around this support level. Realize it could break down more. And so I say wait a little bit. Now, this chart is looking like it's trading down. It's broken down below it. It might come down to some other support levels at like 3.5, 4 cents. And so, especially at these numbers, 4 cents, that's like 20% cheaper if you're able to buy a bunch at 4 cents. And then if it breaks through that support and comes down to like 3.5 cents, well, then some more. So the way I usually play it, if I didn't have any, I would buy in some because it's cheap. But I like to buy really cheap if I can. So I would personally, how I'd play it if I had none, I'd put in a little bit now just so I have some, because I might get distracted with other things and forget to keep checking. And even if it does come down, I might miss the entry of when it's coming down. If you do, because this isn't tradable on any exchanges, so you're not able to put in, say, a buy order necessarily. But then your next entry point is around 4 cents, and then it could come down lower to this like 3.4 cents range. And so I would try to tier it at some of those different price levels and stock up. But this is when I love to be stocking up, and when it's going crazy like this is usually some take profit zones. Now I expect it'll do a lot higher than this, so I took a tiny bit of profits around in this zone, but just a tiny bit because I have such higher expectations for it.
Hey Jay, so we got like a 2-minute warning on the Q&A. Before we do the Q&A, here's a question right here from Jafar. That is not the one I wanted to pull. From Octavio. So what's the verdict? Is cardamom? I've seen Cardano. I've seen cardamom. Is Cardano dead or in ICU? And there was somebody else asked for a Cardano refresher. I'm guessing they probably didn't catch the first part of the live stream.
Okay.
So yeah, give us a quick recap, and then just a reminder for those who want to ask a question. You're looking for the ticker symbol, and then also what you like about the project.
Tell us what you like about it, because you put some work in, then we'll match that. But if people just throw out ticker symbols, it takes no thought. Maybe they haven't even put any thought into it. And we're trying to create the most informed audience. So I already want you to be thinking about what you like about it and share it with us. And there's no right or wrong answers there. What you like about it is what you like about it. It's not like you're wrong on that. So Cardano on life support, that's when I like to buy. And we just showed, if you missed this article, this tells you everything. Also, the number of addresses increasing. So this is the flows by assets in millions in the U.S. in assets under management. So high dollar net worth people have been putting in, they put in 16.4 million into Cardano this last week. Well, why would they be doing it? Cardano's on life support. It's in the ICU. Isn't that when you want to be buying it? Because what retail often does is they chase green candles. And so they're not buying Cardano right now because they don't chase red candles. People that have been in the space for a long time and know how to think about it, they buy it when it's boring or it's on life support and it feels like it might die. There's lots of, it's not going to die. It's just out of the narrative right now. It's already had some massive gains, and so it's a great pickup for those that are trying to increase their Cardano space. When do you want to buy it? When it's breaking new highs and it's at $3.50? Or do you want to buy it when it's at like $2 or all the way down to $1.80? And so what the wealthy do is they buy it on retracements, and it's trading at $1.87 right now. So it's on sale. I like to buy on sale.
Right on. Hey, quick question. It looks like from Professional 69. Oh,
Yeah.
whoops. What's this? He's asking, what is this tool you're using?
So to get to this, just open up a new window and go to tradingview.com. And then you're going to get a screen that looks like this, and just put in ADA versus USDT. And it's going to give you a lot of options, essentially the charts on all these different exchanges. And you're looking for one that has as long of a history as possible. Now, I like Binance because they have a lot of volume, so that's what I'm looking for. And they have a decent enough history. They go all the way back to April of 2018. So, yeah,
Cool. Right
should
on.
help out that.
So I've got a question here from Dars. Dana token by Ardana. Cardano native getting listed on exchanges on 11/22 provides crypto loans, automated market maker, and low circulating supply is what he likes about it. DANA. Yeah,
Ardana.
while we're talking about Cardano, we might as well talk about this.
Ardana is a decentralized stablecoin hub which will bring the necessary DeFi primitives needed to bootstrap and maintain an economy to Cardano. Ardana offers an on-chain asset-backed stablecoin and another decentralized DEX. Okay. Nice name. I have to give them that. I like the name. Utility and governance token of the Ardana ecosystem. I don't have any charts to look at. Yeah, none of these articles relate to it. So I don't have much to go off of. Looks like a Cardano native token. And can go to their website here. Mint, trade, stake, and store value. I would have to really know more about the team listing on, some of the basic exchanges. Yeah, it really comes down to how strong is the team, serial entrepreneur, leadership positions, various Ethereum-based projects, Shapiro, founder, Platonic Systems. Okay, they've got a long road ahead of them. We'll see how much we hear about them. Looks like they have a big team, so they put some funding into it. Because a lot of times you see a lot of teams, they have like 2 people or 3 people, and so they probably have got some funding to be able to have a team this big, especially if these are actually working full-time. Sometimes they list these people, but they're very, very part-time. So, nice. Okay. I don't know. There's no price for us to look at. The rising tide rises all boats, so one of the reasons I'm taking some of these riskier bets is because in a rising tide, they tend to do really, really well. What I don't want to do is get stuck holding them when the pullback happens, because they usually retrace pretty heavy. I saw somebody, ADA dead when you buy in. Because there was someone that said ADA was a dead project. And it's like, look, that is the sentiment. Like, what we do here is we don't follow what the 95% of people do. We follow what the 5% are doing. And so we counter trade. So when you're hearing everyone say, Cardano is a stablecoin, Cardano's dead, it's on life support, it's dying, that should be like music to your ears. Like, also, if your own feelings are, gosh, nothing's happened with it, listen to those feelings. Just don't do what they're telling you to do. Because what are they telling you to do right now? Sell. Okay. Let's go back to this. Let's remove all these drawings. Let's go back here. So Cardano hit these lows, and then what happened coming out of these lows? Everyone was freaked out. Pumped up, and it went to 8 cents. And then it traded sideways for just like a month. June, July. Yep. And then it took off again. But even right here, people were like, oh, yeah, nothing's happening. Then it pumped way up here. And this is July 23rd, and it went to like 15 cents. It actually hit 17 cents, so I remember that. And then it was like here, and then, gosh, big retracement. See, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or in this case, 3 steps forward, 1 back. And people here were calling, oh my gosh, it's going to go back to 2 cents. Head and shoulders pattern, Cardano's dead. And then what happened? Skyrocketed up again. So Cardano has significant things going on. It has people spending millions of dollars building platforms on top of it, new projects on top of it. It's got billions heading towards it. Cardano is not dead in any way, shape, or form. And if you're feeling like it's boring, that might be an indicator to you that the price is low. Lots of people are selling and panic selling out. It's not when you want to be buying. That's when I buy. But I think like an investor. Now, that's not necessarily when BitBoy buys. That's not when BitBoy's covering it. But BitBoy has the best produced channel in crypto, though there's some contenders coming up with that. Very well-produced channel. It's fantastic. He's a great place to get some news. Advice, when he's saying, oh, it's terrible, it's doing terrible, that's usually an indicator to me that, like, wow, it's on discount, it's cheap, and I'm going to consider buying more. Now, buying Cardano isn't on my because I still have hundreds of thousands of dollars in Cardano. I'm very happy with my position in Cardano. I've sold 2/3 of my position in Cardano, and so Cardano's been a huge gainer for me, but I went so heavy on it back here, I don't need to buy more of it here. And so I like to have a little bit of blue chips in my portfolio, and that part's still more than full because it's increased by so much. All right, let me look through too and see what I'm liking in the comments.
You want to cover XRP? I've had a couple people mention it.
Okay. XRP I don't buy because it's in that blue chip category, and it's not my favorite blue chip. And so I'm not holding a lot of XRP, but I know a lot of people are big fans, and the use case is pretty strong. We'll see, though. There's so many competitors that have come in. So they went all the way up to here, big retracement, and they're pushing up, and they're probably going to win their lawsuit. The lawsuit against them is absolutely ridiculous, and it needs to get going away. And kudos to the team. I'm so happy that they have chosen to fight this out. They could have taken a settlement deal and moved on, and would have been great for them, because what do they care about? $100 million paying some settlement, or $10 million, because they're in the right on this. They're just getting targeted as the case where the SEC is trying to grab more power, and if the SEC can get them to take a settlement, then it actually bolsters the SEC's power. So they are fighting this fight for all of us, and I think we should all be thankful to them for doing it. Honestly, it's made me think a lot more about the team for doing that. Now, where can it go from here is the bigger question, and so in order to look at that, we've got to look at either CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. We've got this up, so let's take a look here. Let's look at where their market cap is already. Okay, so their market cap is at 51 billion. Where could their market cap go? Now, they have a current circulating supply of 47 billion tokens. Is that, yep. And so half of their supply is in circulation, or almost half. But realize there's probably more of this that enters supply a little bit for time. So could their market cap go from here to 200 billion, 300 billion? It hit like 140 billion. I think CoinMarketCap shows this better. Let's see if we can figure out where it went to last time. So I think they'll hit their previous highs from before and then exceed it by a little bit. Wouldn't expect it to exceed it by a lot, though. Okay. It hit. We're just going to have to do some math. 3.1 and times that by 50 million, and you get like 150 million roughly. We'll just say it went to 150 million last time. So maybe it'll go to 150 billion last time, and maybe it'll go to 300 billion this time. But where is that from here? We're pretty close to that already. So I just, yeah. So it might 5x from here. So yeah, so I'm not buying it myself. That's not what I'm looking into. We promised to look at some gaming cryptos, so let me rush through those real quick. There's this one called is Daragon Land, and it looks really cool. It's going to have some things out pretty quick, and essentially these dragons are like towers, and tower games are pretty quick. Now, the gaming metaverse, there are so many games coming, and so I looked through in preparation for this a lot of different ones, which ones I liked, and picked a couple to share with you that are upcoming that look good, that I think have some reasons that they'll have some transaction, that they'll have some volume, but I don't have a lot of time to go into them. This one looks really hot, Space Misfits. And if you watch this, if you go to their website, spacemisfits.com, watch this video. The graphics are pretty good. It's not amazing, but it doesn't need to be amazing. They're good for what they're doing. They're well enough to be doing what they're doing. And this one's been under development for a couple years, and so they'll have something ready to play a lot sooner than a lot of other games coming out. Another one that you should check out is bangergames.com, and they're going to have an ecosystem as well as you can currently use them to battle other people and bet on your battle with them. And so their ecosystem, I think, has a lot of potential that it can do really well. We're running right up against the clock and running out of time. So if you appreciate the content, could you give us a like? And if the content sucks, hit that thumbs down button. Tell us why in the comments. If overall, if you'll commit to the next 5 years, I will too, because that's when you're really going to make life-changing gains. Now, I hope a lot of you do really well in the next coming months. I think you will. I think you'll do exceptionally well. And if you take profits, and we'll cover taking profits every now and again in the coming months, just so it's always fresh on your mind, I think you'll do really well. And if you have some liquid capital on the side that you can deploy in the bear market, I think you'll be way ahead of the game. And then stick around for this full 5 years, because in this full 5 years, that's how people make life-changing wealth. Do you realize that only 5% of people make life-changing wealth in crypto? The same percentage of people are the ones that stick around, not just for one cycle, but for multiples. And so literally it's as simple as that. Make some good gains this cycle, put them to the side, buy when it's cheap again, take that ride up, and by then you'll be in a fully different position than you are now. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Came into the space chasing all of the gains, chasing the pumps and all of the hype trains. But like in life, shit right before you could. Was told to buy when it was pouring like a rainmaker should. I buy when it's down, don't chase the boats that I miss. Cause I always make the time in mind. I sit the one out cause I'm patient like that. And I'll wait for the right time. I sell when it's high, I buy when it's low. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm just a rainmaker running the show. Calculated investments, I don't leave with my heart. Principles are simple, they're leaving a mark. Buy when it's boring, just gotta be smart. I sell when it's hype, like all the channels they pump it. That's when I was selling, go parabolic, they dump it. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. The game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. The time is never better, the time like the present. This next 5 years is a gift and it's feeling like heaven. I'm committed to learn, to study and to know that nothing comes easy but with knowledge you gain. Show, sinking at this road, cause soon will come a bear market. Learning and growing, and when it's slow will be the target. They say it's come out, Bitcoin is dead. The massive decreases can get to your head. I'm sticking around, the time is better. I'm strong like that, I'll let the others be fretters. 2 years time, the ball will bring back the gains. That makes it worth the effort, cause here comes the rain. So let's go rainmakers, let's make it all happen. Let go with the hate, let the haters be crapping. I'm here for 5 years, let's do this together. The time is right, the time could be better. They call me rich, they call me smart. I'm a rainmaker, making my own start. I'm with the future, learning the past. Makes the time fly by, years going so fast. This game plan is mine, I'll own it now. When I reach the top, haters asking me how. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck. Haters be hating, the time to slow down. Addressing what they say when I'm wearing my crown. They're chasing green candles like someone who was new. I got a vision that was bigger, helping me to push through. I'm still human and sometimes it is rough. And that's what makes me special, simply I stay tough. Cause I'm a rainmaker, investments I love. And I follow what I learn, not relying on luck.